All right, welcome back. Actually, welcome today. We are talking about why you should listen to us. And this is really an important episode that we feel very strong about giving this information to you. So we're going to get right into it. My name is Brigitte Höferle. I am the CEO and owner and co-owner of the NLP Institute of Atlanta. You're going to learn a little bit more that is one of my credibilities, but not all of them. And I encourage all of you to have something to write on and write with so you can take notes, because at the end of this class, you're going to write your own edification. So you're getting crystal clear where, not just where you're going to, but really where you're coming from. What is your credibility? What is your edification? I am super excited that I'm here with John Kerth, fellow grandmaster. John, welcome.
Thanks, Brigitte. It's great to be here. Yeah, we're going to be talking about lineage, credibility, and edification. Powerful teachers have all three, are strong in all three. So you want to pivot into the lineage concept, Brigitte?
Absolutely. Let me go ahead and share my screen with you. So, John, can you see my screen?
Yes, I can. It's very clear.
All right. Well, let's get started with the lineage concept.
So the concept of lineage is two questions you should ask any potential teacher or trainer. Who taught you, and what's your lineage? Now, lineage in biology is direct descent from a common ancestor. Lineage in genealogy is who are your parents? This is the typical family tree, right? They get married and they have all that sort of thing. And then the lineage concept when it comes to trainers is different. Let's pivot to more of a royal family tree lineage. See this, it's reverse. There's a lineage at the bottom, and then you've got all these other people. So the lineage concept is essential on how you can evaluate and understand more about who your teachers are. The lineage, our lineage, both Brigitte's and mine, are very powerful, and we'll get deeper into that. Next slide, please, Brigitte. So really, lineage answers, who are you and why should you listen to me? Now, who is this man? This is a picture of Bodhidharma, who was the founder of the Shaolin Temple in 800 AD in China. If any of you are big fans of martial arts, the Shaolin Temple was founded by this man. But his impact in Buddhism is even greater. He was the founder of the Chan or Zen school of Buddhism. But the thing is, the lineage concept in Buddhism also applies to teachers. Teacher to student, teacher to student, teacher to student. So it's not who is your parents, who is your teacher, who taught them, who taught them. It was interesting. A couple years ago, I went to a Chinese New Year festival, and there was a martial arts school founded by a Shaolin monk. And before his students demonstrated their prowess, he said this: I'm 35th generation. He could trace his lineage all the way back to Bodhidharma, the founder, in 800 AD. And theoretically from there, he could trace his lineage all the way back to Buddha himself. So teacher to student is very important. Now, there's something that's called a true lineage holder. And a true lineage holder is a teacher who holds the essence of the teachings. They hold the essence of the teachings because it has been passed down from teacher to student, teacher to student. So whenever you're considering working with trainers or teachers of any sort, there are two key questions you have to ask. One, who taught you? And two, what's your lineage? If the teacher or trainer cannot answer those two questions, it's a big red flag. So Brigitte, let's dive into your lineage.
Yes, thank you so much, John. So in NLP, the lineage, my personal lineage goes back to life. And then at the very top is Richard Bandler. Richard Bandler and John Grinder are the founders of neurolinguistic programming. So I can easily trace it back because life, my mentor who established and founded the NLP Institute of Atlanta in 1986, learned from the master himself. And I learned from Life, who is the master all in itself, because the Institute has been around since 1986. Now, there is something else, because I say I'm a sucker for methodologies. I love education. I'm a teacher by trade and by heart, and I have a Montessori and educational background as well. I built a Montessori school when we came to the United States in 2004. So as I'm becoming more aware of lineage, and as you're becoming more of your lineage, I realized, again, I'm in third generation learning from the master. Maria Montessori passed away about 20 years ago, but I was fortunate enough to learn from the master that learned from Maria Montessori. Jane Goddard in Knoxville passed away about 11, 12 years ago, and I still had the privilege to learn from her. So again, there's a very strong Montessori lineage that I have that allows me to not get my education and my methodology watered down, that it is very, very pure. We're going to talk about cultures later on, John, but back to you because you have an incredible lineage as well.
Yeah, so my lineage in neurolinguistic programming, I'm third generation as well. My mentor, Dr. Donald Moyne, got his PhD in psychology at UC Santa Cruz with Richard Bandler. When Dr. Moyne graduated, there was an executive vice president for a large Wall Street firm that read his dissertation and hired Dr. Moyne to ride along with their top producing salespeople, deconstruct what they were doing linguistically and behaviorally from an NLP standpoint, synthesize it into the scripts, and then roll it out to their entire sales team. Dr. Moyne studied directly with Richard Bandler. So I'm third generation in neuro-linguistic programming. That's why the teacher to student lineage is so important, because the essence of the teachings are transmitted. They aren't watered down. They aren't diluted, because you've learned from a teacher to student. Another thing, there are many different ways of excellence in NLP. Part of the reason why Brigitte and I work so well together is she's an NLP grandmaster in her own right. She just has a different lineage. I am an NLP master in my own right. I have a different lineage. There isn't rivalry over who taught you or none of that. She's third generation, I'm third generation. Different lineage. So let's go from lineage to another core component of evaluating your trainers or potential trainers is credibility. So let's pivot to the next slide on credibility. In the dictionary,
I don't think I have a slide on credibility.
Okay, all right. Well, we're all credible. In the dictionary, credibility has two definitions. First is, one, capable of being believed. The second definition of being credible is worthy of confidence, reliable. So your teachers need to be believable and worthy of confidence. A little bit about my business credibility, because you have to have the academic, the NLP training, which is totally pragmatic and hands-on, and the real-world business entrepreneurial experience, and put them together. So I'm president and founder of my own company, Syntactic Sales Scripting. More than 20 years of experience in professional selling. I'm a globally based sales trainer. I've worked in Asia. I will go over a little bit about that later later in the talk. I teach multi-day workshops, 1, 2, 3 day. Brigitte and I just finished a multi-day workshop for advanced NLP trainers back in October. It was fantastic. And I'm also publisher of a book, What Are Your Words Wearing? So that's a little bit about my credibility. And Brigitte, your credibility is equally as impressive.
Yes. So my credibility goes back to I started a business in Germany, brought the business to the United States while I had a toddler, and soon after that I became pregnant again. So while having two young children, I built a very strong and successful business, which is a Montessori school. And I built them basically for my own children, for my own family. Today, this school, which I have sold the capital shares of it, is very successful. So I have built businesses, I have sold businesses. The school is one of the businesses that I have built and that I have also sold. I also own the NLP Institute of Atlanta, which is an established business since 1986. I actually did not go and bid for this business to buy. The owner, Leif Roland, who is in direct lineage to Richard Bandler, came to me and said, "Hey, Brigida, I have been watching you. You're very successful. You have been teaching from stages all around the world as the fast-track female trainer. Do you want to buy my business?" And I said, "Life, I actually wasn't looking for something." And yet he saw so much that he wanted to give me his business, his baby, his precious facility to continue and carry on the legacy. So
One thing I would quickly like to add there is Leif recognized just how strong you were. He would not have made that offer to just any student. He made the offer to you.
correct, because there were many students that followed him during his lifetime, and they all, several of them wanted to buy them, and he's like, "Nope, I'm not just going to give this to anyone." And I think especially parents can relate to this. So it's all about becoming very clear on what your abilities are and how visible also you are, not just the credibility, but also the visibility, and how are you adapting your knowledge that you have gained, and how are you going through the 3 stages of learn, do, teach, learn, do, teach, learn, do, teach. So let's go into the edification.
Mm-hmm.
And the edification, the definition of to edify is to instruct or enlighten so as to encourage intellectual or spiritual improvement. So how do we instruct our students to encourage intellectual improvement? We can do this online or offline. It's the same process, a very solid structure that we have to deliver the materials, as we are doing right now, a clear outline, a clear syntax. The material needs to flow from one concept to the next. Content-rich material. It is all meat on the bones. It is not fluff. It is not cotton candy. Practical hands-on materials that you can apply immediately to your life in business and in your personal life. And NLP is really for both. It is not just business, it's your personal life as well. And then the 2 world-class instructors team teach the materials. That's what we do. That's what John and I do. We're co-teaching this, and we're continuing to give you more and more meat on the bone, very content-rich information that is applicable for you immediately. So when you're selecting an online or an offline course, you need to know, who are the trainers? Who are you following? Who are you listening to? And know the importance of the trainers. Not just where do they come from, what is their lineage, and quite frankly, both John and I have a very rich and very clear lineage, and we also bring another thing to the table, and that is multiculturalism. John, you want to share real quick where you have lived?
Sure. I've worked and spent over 7 years in Asia, mainland China, Hong Kong, Singapore, Malaysia, Taiwan. So I'm multicultural in the delivery, because that's critical when you're training someone, because certain frameworks from people who lived in Asia, you have to make certain adjustments to how you're teaching the material, or how you're teaching the material to someone from Europe or Germany. You know how to do that right.
Correct. And so that brings me back to me, and that is, I grew up in Germany. We moved to the United States. That is, my husband and I moved to the United States in 2004. And knowing how Germans do business is great. When we do something, we do it very thorough. I mean, come on. We got Audi, we got Porsche, we got Mercedes, we got BMW. Those are four great cars right there. There are a lot of great engineering that comes out of Germany. So as a German by heart and by birth, yes, we are very thorough. So that just adds another layer of the lineage and of the edification and of the credibility. So knowing who taught you, or who are you listening to and who taught them, and what is their lineage. If you don't know what their lineage is, run or ask. And if you're not getting an answer, run then. Credibility is the new currency for our trainers. Do the trainers have real world experience? Did they just start? Did they just read some books and they just know it by theory? You know, between John and I, I'm going to say we have a good, 65, 70 years of experience combined under our belt.
Yep.
So the question is also that you want to ask yourself and ask the trainers that you're listening to, are they worthy of the confidence that they're bringing? Or is it just a lot of fluff? Or is it maybe even ego? The edification is to instruct, to encourage intellectual and spiritual improvement. Can they teach you the material so you can actually apply it? Does it make sense to you that you can go and immediately apply it in your personal life or your business life or your business life? And can they teach you how to become more successful? Or are they just doing a whole lot of rah-rah and a whole bunch of hot air? And once you listen to them and you tune out, you go, okay, that was a whole lot of hot air. Now what do I do? I'm still not successful. Guys, you're not becoming successful by osmosis. That is not how it works. That's why John and I are so passionate about giving you really good strategies and information in a very fun and in a very strategic and light way. So once you've answered all of those questions, then you will know why you should listen to Brigitte and to John. John, do you have anything to add?
Just again, the credibility, the lineage, and the edification. Your trainers need all three. And once you know all three, then you can work with them with confidence, and you know you're going to be able to apply it, what they've taught you, either online or offline, to become even more successful. And it's a privilege to be team teaching all of these things with you, Brigitte, because you're a fellow pro.
I see the same in you. Thank you, John. Thank you for all the knowledge that you bring. And guys, tune in to the next episode that we have coming up here soon. Thank you, John, again. Thank you, guys. Spread the word, spread the love. These are free classes that we have for you. Bye for now. Welcome. And we are also recording. Welcome, everyone, to this beautiful #1 of 6 series, the Neurological Levels and Your Winning Edge, how to restructure and reinvent your business now. Super excited that we're here with you again. Thank you for tuning in again. Thank you for learning with us again. If you do not have something to write with and something to write on, now is the best time to get that right now, because we're going to give you a lot of information in a short time. I'm here again with my fellow grandmaster and wonderful friend, John Kerth. John, thank you for being on yet again.
Thanks again, Brigitte.
John and I are grandmasters of NLP and have been working together. We have been giving you guys, I want to say in the last 2.5 to 3 weeks, a good 9 or 10 courses. Most of them are on our NLP event page. There are the recordings. You can also find more information on our YouTube channel, NLP Atlanta. And we are going to go straight into it. giving you a lot of content, very rich, a lot of meat on the bone information as we go through the next 15 minutes or so with you on our number 1 of 6 series. John?
All right. Well, good. A little bit, and Brigida edified us. Brigida, can you show the slides?
I can, and I'm also, let me mute everyone real quick. And then unmute
Again,
John.
Brigida's on the East Coast. I'm on the West Coast. We've worked for several years together. And now we're going to go deep into the content that we want you to apply. So fasten your seatbelts and get ready.
All right, let's get this slideshow started. So as I mentioned, today we are talking about the neurological levels and your winning edge for the next 6 series. So we're going to be Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday this week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday next week, 9 o'clock a.m. Pacific, 12 o'clock Eastern. And we're going to go into an overview. So during this pandemic, during this time of crisis, your business model, our business model has become outdated and probably broken. I think that we all can agree that it's not ever going to be the same again. We are creating a new normal if there ever was a normal in the first place. My husband, the culture guy, likes to say normal is a dial on your washing machine. There is no real normal. We all have our different standards of normal. So restructure and reinventing, that sounds great. Restructuring, reinventing your business, that sounds great. And it is required. But how? We're going to give you the how in the next 6 series. So you want to tune in. This is not I'm going to go and drop into one of these series and then miss the rest, because you will miss out a whole lot because we're taking you step by step through it. And if it's one thing that you have learned in taking our other courses, John and I, we are very strategic in our approach, and we make it very fun and interactive at the same way as we're caring a lot about your learning. So we're going to give you a lot of the house. Now, the neurological levels were developed by 2 students who work directly with Richard Bandler and John Grinder, who are the founders of NLP, and that's Robert Dilts, D-I-L-T-S, and Gregory Bateson. So Robert Dilts has given us the structure of the neurological levels, and they're also often called the neurological levels to change. And we're going to give you the whole outline in the next 6 series that we're giving, next 6 courses that we're doing within the series. So the model considers a different thinking and a different perception. That's what NLP is all about. It's looking and giving you the flexibility to look at things differently. The mindset that has brought you here is not going to take you there. I'm going to say that again. The mindset that has brought you here is not going to take you there. So an ongoing shift and an ongoing flexibility that you are creating in yourself is going to not allow you to come up with resistance, but to embrace the change and to actually like change, because here's the thing, change is good. So right now in the chat box, you have a black little area at the bottom of your screen. If you hover over it with your cursor, you can see the chat box. Click on the chat box and write in the chat box, change is good. Because the more you can embrace the change, the easier it is going to be for you to go through those steps. Each level of this model can be applied to either any organization or to you individually. So what we're giving you, you can apply it in your business, you can apply it in your personal life, you can apply it into areas that you are struggling with as you are going through the change, and it's going to give you a very step-by-step and simple outline. So the model, I'm pretty sure you all have seen it, going from the very broad foundation of the environment through the behaviors, capabilities, values, and beliefs, identity, this should say identity, not identify, sorry about that, and the purpose. John.
Yes, so let's go into alignment, organizational alignment, and congruence. Alignment is necessary, but not sufficient to compete long term. Let me repeat that. Organizational alignment is necessary, but not sufficient to compete long term. There's a key difference between alignment and congruence. Congruence is distinctly different. Think about congruence. Things are more, think of about a symphony orchestra. You're thinking about harmony, music. There is a vibrational match between all the pieces in the orchestra. That is congruence. They are going together versus incongruence, or think of the difference between accord and discord. Accord, musically in harmony like a symphony, all the different pieces not only working together, but playing together in harmony. Discord, disharmony. So even though things can be in alignment, they can be working at cross purposes with each other. So that's why congruence is so important, because now you get a vibrational match. You get greater harmony. And that's why the neurological levels are so powerful, because it acts like a powerful diagnostic tool. You can see where the challenges are and what levels you need to affect change. So not only is it a diagnostic tool, where are the problems? Then at what level are they? And then how can you affect the change? So there's really 6 reasons and ways you can use the neurological level. Number 1, you're analyzing the type of management action required to make desired change to an organization's performance, structure, or culture. Performance, structure, and culture. This is why this model is so powerful. You can apply it to all 3 levels. For managers or coaches, you can use it to find areas of interventions or areas required for individual growth. Brigitte said, your mindset that got you here will not get you there. Neurological levels is perfect to identify those areas that you can grow into. Salespeople, you can get a deeper understanding of what is the motivation behind the organization's desire to purchase. For coaches, you can help somebody be more effective as a leader or as a manager. Individuals, to gain greater clarity and purpose. Clarity and purpose. Because the thing is, right now, everything is being reset. We'll go deeper into the importance of values and beliefs. Usually crisis enables a value reset. Everything can get repositioned or reprioritized. So this is why the neurological level is so important, is because it can give an individual clarity on what they want, what they really want. And of course, you can also use the neurological levels to give feedback more effectively. This is one of the most powerful models in NLP, because it can be used both at the individual level and the organizational level, not only to improve performance, change business structure, but also business culture. Because there's a saying, culture eats strategy for breakfast. The neurological levels tool can be used for all of those. Brigitte.
Yeah, let's dive a little bit deeper into that brief explanation of this model. So let's start out with the top. That's the purpose or the mission, which goes way beyond the self-consciousness of oneself to relate to a bigger picture. Does it create a bigger effect? What about your mission? What is it for? For whom is it? So you want to go through these 6 levels to start understand of what kind of ripple effect does it create. Then going into the identity factors and determines yourself. And it's answering the question, for whom? The beliefs and the values provide the reinforcement, the motivation, the permission to support or deny your capabilities. And it's answering the question, why? So now we're going into the capabilities, and they're all about your skills. They're all about the information and knowledge that you have, the how-to that guides and gives directions to the behavior. And the behavior is made up of specific actions or reactions within the environment. The environment refers to the factors that are the external opportunities or even the constraints. So answering the questions where, when, and with whom. So this is a high-level overview of this model, and we're going to go much deeper into that in the upcoming mini series that we have.
One thing I would like for you to put into the chat box, not only change is good, but I embrace change. So in the chat box, type in, I embrace change. Because remember, in neuro-linguistic program, we were talking moving away from and moving towards as far as a person's meta program for orientation. Well, typically change, people move away from. They're trying to avoid it. They're dragged kicking and screaming to making the change. But when you embrace change, it's your ability to embrace it. Now you're moving towards it because of the advantages it's going to give you for your personal life and in your business. Some other things I would like to mention about the neurological levels is there's a wonderful saying, it's from an anonymous person who said, there's nothing so useful as a good theory. There's nothing as useful as a good theory. Well, I'll refine it. The most practical and applicable thing of all is an excellent NLP model. The most practical and applicable thing of all is a powerful NLP model. The neurological levels is one of those because you can apply it in many different ways. You can apply it in different levels. See, NLP is all about application. This is one of the most applicable levels. And we'll go deeper into the soul, heart, head, and hands of your business in the coming sessions. You got to have the soul of the business. You got to have a heart. You got to have the head and the hands to get things done. You miss any one of those, you're not in alignment and not in congruence. So we're just scratching the surface here, but this model we're going to be coming back to again and again over the next couple days, and you're going to be applying it again and again in your business and your life because it is so practical. Brigida, what are some of the things we're going to be talking about next and other points you'd like to add?
Yes, one point that I really like to make, I use this model as I was invited to speak in front of a large group the other day via Zoom. And I use this model to talk about parenting and about talking about how parents are literally juggling chainsaws right now in this time of change. And I use this model just to make that point there. So it is a very, once you understand, relate to it, apply it, you can see where else in your life you can use this model to strategically go through some of the things that you might be struggling with. So I love the model, and I continuously use it and apply it in different areas with my clients as well. So this week, as you said, John, we're going to go tomorrow at 9 o'clock Pacific, 12 o'clock Eastern. We're going to go through the soul of your business. And what does that really mean? We're going to start at the very top of this model and go through the mission and the purpose, and then also the identity of it. So we're going to break it down for you in the next 5 days that we're continuously working with you in this course, and breaking this model down and giving you more hands-on, more understanding, more information, more knowledge, so you can apply it easier. At the very beginning, when we didn't record yet today, one of our beautiful participants that is here on the call said, you know, it's great when we're in it and we're learning this, and it's another thing, you know, if we just put it on the shelf and then never look at it again, then it just becomes shelf help and not even self-help. So it's the implementation, it's the how are you applying it, how are you practicing it, how are you, you know, one of the NLP strategies that we teach in our practitioner course and in our ongoing courses is learn, do, teach, learn, do, teach, learn, do, teach. So it becomes part of you, part of how you're speaking, how you're modeling, how you're leading. How are you learning it? How are you doing it? How are you applying it? And how are you passing on your information to others? That's how it's going to really become your own information. We're really excited to be here with you for the upcoming next days with you again. So tomorrow, 12 o'clock. John, back to you.
Yes. So yeah, tomorrow, 9 o'clock Pacific, 12 o'clock Eastern. So yes, we're getting into what's the soul of your business. Learn, do, teach. It's all in the application. You learn it, then you do it. As you're doing it, you're going to become even better in applying it, but also you're going to be teaching it to other people in your organizations. Leadership is at a premium now. It has always been at a premium, but now it's even more important. You learn it, you're learning it here, you're going to be doing it, you're going to be applying it, and ultimately you're going to be teaching it. Brigitte, back to you.
Awesome. Thank you so much. So we're excited for you. If you have any questions around anything, you're welcome to email us. Email me. I am going to put my email in here. It's very simple, info@nlpatlanta.com. Share with us anything that you are uncertain about, that you're unclear about. Follow us on Instagram, on Facebook, on YouTube, on Pinterest, on Twitter, on, I don't know, LinkedIn. You name the social media, follow us on it. We're excited. We're going to see you guys again tomorrow, 9 o'clock Pacific time, 12 o'clock Eastern. And then we're going to do that again this week on Thursday. And then we're going to do the next three in this whole 6 series next week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursdays as well. And of course, we'd love for you to share it with others. Share the link. We have the Facebook event link. You have the Zoom invite link. Share it with others. This is a free course, and it is for us to get through this time. And that is, we can only get through this time together by caring for each other, by sharing the love, by sharing the knowledge, by sharing the information, and really make a difference in people's lives. And that's why these courses are for free for you and for you to share. So thank you guys for being on today. I will see you again tomorrow. Spread the love. Thank you, John, for being here as always. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Let me start the recording and let's go live. Welcome, welcome, welcome everyone to day 2 of our, and I don't know why it's not going live on Facebook again. And let me just, it's setting up Facebook Live, redirecting to Facebook. So bear with me just a second. Here we go. All right, everything's working. Welcome everyone, day 2 of our 6 series, Neurological Levels and Your Winning Edge. Today, we are all about the soul, and we're gonna go and, no, we're not gonna do a soul train today. We're actually going to go a little bit deeper than that. But if you can, just kind of get into that soul thought, as I am reminding you to get something to write on and something to write with. Turn this thing off because it is a huge distraction, and you wanna be fully and utterly present here, as we are going to give you a lot of information yet again, content rich. So let me start let me share my screen. There we go. And let's go right into it. And one thing that I really want to encourage everyone that is on the Zoom call live, come in a little bit early, be early, not necessarily right at the time, because you get to share your ahas, you get to share how you're implementing what you have learned, and you get to ask questions. We got some great questions this morning, so thank you for participating fully. I'm here with John Kerth, Brigitte Höfele, CEO and owner of the NLP Institute of Atlanta. Yep, exactly, Höfele. And I'm here with John Kerth, author and CEO in his own, grandmaster in his own right. John, welcome. Thank you for being here.
Yes, I own my own business, Syntactic Sales Scripting, people how to win more customers with their language they're using. It's all based out of neuro-linguistic programming. I am a NLP grandmaster in my own right, and I'm the author of this book, What Are Your Words Wearing? So it's a delight and a privilege to be co-teaching these events with Brigitte, who's a grandmaster in her own right, and to share this powerful, applicable information for the people on the call.
Awesome. Let's dive right into it. Today, it is all about what's the soul of your business. So we did the setup yesterday, and today we're going to go through the neurological levels. Now, we choose to go through the neurological levels starting at the very top. And we're going to start with your purpose, your mission, and your identity. So let's go into the soul. What is the soul of your mission and your purpose? Often when we hear soul and mission and purpose, we think of you cannot touch it. You cannot, it's not tangible. Now, although it might not be tangible, it is not woohoo. Okay, it is dead. It's a dead serious practical business. And if you don't have soul, then you don't have the customers that are sticking with you. I mean, my husband is a great music fan, and he was a music analyst for many years, and worked with MTV. And you know, you guys all know the godfather of soul music, and he's a big fan of it. Anyone know the godfather of soul music? James Brown, Take Me to the Bridge, right? Think soul, and think of how James Brown is bringing that soul out in music. So here in our mission and our purpose is, how are we bringing our soul to our customer? How are we attaching what we stand for and what we want to be known for, that very intangible, and bringing that out? That is a real skill. That is a real deep work that we're doing here. And we're going to go much deeper into it as we continue to bring more information to you. So the soul of your business resides in the big difference that there is the business with soul, and there is the soulless business. Often you find the soulless business, and that is a business, and they're in it for just one thing. And what is that? It's just about the money. Yes, Paula, you and I, it's just about the money. And when you get in touch with that kind of business, you're like, it just doesn't, there's a disconnect. It just doesn't feel right. It's just all about the, you know, sell me something, and that's not sustainable. They're not going to continue to have reoccurring customer relations, or reoccurring customers, or customers that are staying with them. So you and your customers will feel the difference when there is a mission and a purpose attached to a business. Again, think James Brown. It's that intangible, going with the soul, and Take Me to the Bridge, and having something that is very, very unique, because no one before and after James Brown did anything about Take Me to the Bridge. I mean, that's what he stands for. He is the godfather of soul. So the higher levels of the neurological, let's go back to the pyramid. The higher levels, the purpose, the mission, the identity, the higher levels of this pyramid have a higher influence on your business, and have a deeper meaning in your business. Often when you have this yucky feeling around businesses, they're only looking at the environment, if even. It's also easier to change the lower levels. It's getting harder to change the top levels, the purpose, the mission, the identity. But those are the key purposes, the key elements in your business. That's why we're starting from the top. Yeah, it's harder to change the higher levels. I already said that. So let's go into, what does that really, really mean?
Right, and one quick thing I would like to add, you can have a transactional based business with a lot of soul. Think of Starbucks, whether you love the coffee or dislike the coffee, $5 cups of coffee, they're all about high volume. It's a very high transactional business, yet there's a lot of soul behind it. There's a lot of mission and purpose there. So don't just think, oh, well, I can be a transactional, if I'm a transactional business, I can't have those things. You can. All right, it's because there was coffee shops before Starbucks, and Starbucks changed the dynamic here in the States. There was really no coffee culture here before it. It came after. Let's talk about identity. Identity is more than your business brand. People often interchange the two. It's not. Identity is more than your business brand. Here's an example of some identities. There's a book by Bob Lutz called Car Guys versus Bean Counters: The Battle for the Soul of American Business. Bob Lutz was the former vice chairman of General Motors. So he was concerned about people getting away about the passion of building cars. He called them car guys. There's car gals too. Brigida's a car gal when it comes to Porsches, right?
Right here.
Yep. Red 911 Targa. She is a car gal through and through. But he's talking about the battle for the soul of an American business. This is identity writ large. Let's talk about another form of identity. Thank you for smoking, Philip Morris. Now, when I worked and lived in Taiwan, I was in the moving business. We were doing corporate moves. And there was going to do an office move for Philip Morris. In the lobby, there were various boxes of cigarettes of the various brands that Philip Morris makes. They were like boxes of candy. They were in the lobby. There was a sign that said, thank you for smoking. And the secretary said, if you want to light up, go ahead, light up. And I'm like, no, thank you. That is their identity. Their identity is freedom. I can do whatever I want, even if it's going to make me sick. That's the identity. So you can have a very adverse reaction to them, but it's very clear what Philip Morris stands for. So those are two examples of identity. Again, that's how important it is. You have a visceral gut reaction. Car guys versus bean counters, gut reaction on an identity level. Thank you for smoking, gut reaction on an identity level. Let's go on to further about identity. The next slide, if you would, Brigida, if you've got it. Okay, well, before we get in, let's go to car guys. I don't want to see the Marlboro thing anymore.
Yes, thank you.
So identity, know who you are. Know who you are, know what you stand for, but also know what you are not. It's often easier to start with contrast. What are you not? What will you not do? What will you not sell? Start there. And then you can often move it 180 degrees from what you are not, and you're going to start getting closer to greater clarity on that identity. We take our clients through the neurological levels on some advanced exercises in our other courses on how to get crystal clear on your mission, purpose, and identity. Once you do the hard work there, it's comparatively easier to then affect and impact the other levels. So it's a great place to start with contrast. And I want you to put into the chat box, our chat box declaration, identity is greater than brand. Think of the alligator that's above the period on your keyboard. Identity is greater than brand. It's this type of alligator. Identity is, either you can say identity is greater than brand and type it up, or you can use the mathematical equation, because it's so much more. Identity is so much more than just the brand. Brigida, over to you.
Yes, thank you. Ooh, let's go past this one. So the identity, let's look at identity from an NLP perspective, and what does that mean for your business? Identity is all about who do you want to be recognized? What do you want people to say about you as your business? And that's exactly what John just said. It's not your brand, it's not your logo, it's not your tagline. It is really what kind of feeling do people have around your business? I'll give you a really good example. One of our participants that is on this 6 series, and that was on the last one as well. I've been working with her for many, many, many years, and she came from $1.2 million in debt, and the month has not ended yet, but she's at $60,000 right now per month, $60,000 per month. And when I asked her, when we started working together, and I asked her, what does you want to stand for? She was very worried about the competition, because there's a lot of competition in the field that she's in. And I said, tell me more about you, and what do you hear your key clients tell me about you? And she says, well, they like that I'm really reliable, that I'm very, very fast. I'm always kind. I'm always positive. I'm always coming from a can-do spirit. And so we started writing that down, and we created, that is her purpose. That is her identity of her business. And that is part of who she is. That is part, actually, that is part of who she is in her being. That is part of who she be in her being, right? That is your identity. So really think about what is it that you want to stand for. So there are a few key questions to discover your mission, your purpose, and your identity. And there's so many powerful questions. I'm not going to go through all of them. Just know that we take our clients through an array of very powerful questions within this neurological levels process. We just don't have time to cover them all today, and we'll cover them in our future programs with you. So number one on the mission and purpose question is, who is your organization serving? And even more important, who are you in the community? Are you good community stewards? Are you creating a win-win-win? A win-win-win. Often you have companies that only do a win. Are you creating a win-win-win scenario? So the question is, for the mission and purpose, who is your organization serving? The identity question is, how does the organization see itself? And how are you being viewed from the outside? And is that incongruent? Is that congruent? Is that in alignment? We talked about that yesterday. So really, how is the organization seeing itself, and how is it viewed from the outside, and does it align? If it doesn't align, that's great feedback for you to do some work there. Okay, so right now in the chat box, declare yourself, I live my purpose. That is a great, strong declaration. Right now in the chat box, declare it, I live my purpose. If you're watching on Facebook Live, go ahead and bring that in the chat box itself. I live my purpose. I know with my brand, I live my purpose. I live my vision. I live my identity. So I live my purpose declarations. I see those declarations coming in. So happy and proud for you guys. John, over to you.
And one thing, it's important, once you have more of those in alignment of the neurological levels, you have more energy. There is less friction. It is called the energy of release. You're releasing a lot of excess baggage, so you have more energy to go forward, and it resonates with your customers. They can feel it. They can definitely feel it. So some additional comments on the neurological levels is the gap. We're talking about minding the gap between how the customers see the business and how the employees see the business. That gap can be huge. Oftentimes in a business, it's like this bubble, and they're only selectively filtering what they want to hear that reinforces how they think they see themselves. But the reality can be quite different from that. And that's essential, is to have that. You need to do the hard work and find out about the gaps and how to close the gaps. Because if there's a significant gap between how the employees view themselves and the company and how their customers view it, the customer's perception is going to win out. Perception is reality. So as a business leader, if there are those gaps, it is your responsibility to start closing them. Because when things push comes to shove, and we've had a lot of stress, the customer's perception is going to win out. Key thing on just recently, like Bank of America and Wells Fargo, they said basically to the businesses trying to get loans, look, you're on your own. That was a massive disconnect and a massive damage to their brand. So as a leader, you got to find the gaps and close them. Brigitte, over to you.
Awesome. So this concludes for today, and we are going to go into yet another great series tomorrow as we're discussing what's the heart of your business. Within this series, within these 6 series, and we've done number 1 yesterday, number 2 we're about to wrap up today, we're going into what's the heart of your business tomorrow, and then we're going to go through the head and also the hand of your business. This is not just a nice convention that we're using to organize our talks. This is so much deeper, and it is a real thing. Your business is not there just to make money. You're going through the processes of the soul the purpose, the mission, the identity. And then tomorrow, we're going to the heart levels, and then we're going to continue on from there. So we're actually giving you some really good rapid formats that are essential for your business building, that are essential for your life. And you know what? Use them, apply them, be there early tomorrow morning again. We're going to start at 9 o'clock Pacific time, 12 o'clock Eastern time. Be on a little bit early. You never know if you get some time with John and myself. This is a great time. Thank you again for being on today. We're going to share the recording with you as you have signed up for the Zoom. John, thank you for being on as always. I'm going to stop sharing my screen and want to make sure that everyone is going to be on again tomorrow as we're going through those neurological levels. Thank you, guys. See you tomorrow. Thank you, John.
Bye-bye.
Bye. If you can let her in. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I am going to go ahead and go live as well. All right, welcome everyone. Today is day 3 of our 6-part series on the neurological levels and your winning edge. We're going to talk about what's the heart of your business. I am super excited to be here with you. A few quick housekeeping, please. Let's turn the phones off so you are able to stay present. You don't need to check your emails right now or any other social media. This is the time as we're going to go very quickly through these next 15 to 20 minutes to stay present, because we're going to give you content-rich information. We're going to continue with the neurological levels as we did Tuesday and Wednesday, so day before yesterday and yesterday. I'm super excited that I am here yet again with the grandmaster and the CEO of the Syntax, and I just forgot the rest of the of your business, John. Forgive me, John Kerth. Over to you.
So I'm president and founder of Syntactic Sales Scripting, and my tagline is the syntax of success, because syntax is the correct order and sequence something goes in. Syntax is so powerful within an NLP perspective. You get the syntax right, you're halfway there. I'm also, as Brigitte mentioned, I'm a NLP grandmaster. And Brigitte, I would ask for you to share slides for us. And I'm the author of What Are Your Words Wearing? So NLP is at the heart of my business. And as you can tell, it's the heart of both of our businesses. And when you use the right frameworks, you can achieve rapid, successful, and aligned growth. Brigitte, over to you.
Thank you so much, John. I appreciate you being here as always. John is part of our faculty here at the NLP Center of Atlanta, and I'm excited that you all are here again. So we're going to dive right into yesterday. We talked about the soul of your business, really the essence of your business, of who you are and what you want your business to be perceived as. And it was Alana that said, you often hear, she was using the office hours times this morning that we allowed you to come in. And she says, often you hear the mindset that brought you there won't get you, that brought you here won't get you there. And she never really knew of, how. Well, now with these levels that we're really deciphering for you on a very high level, she's getting a really good idea of how to do that. So yesterday we talked about and identified the soul of the business. Today we're going to talk about the beliefs and the values, which are the heart of your business. And just like a human heart, just like the human heart, the beliefs and the values, your beliefs and the values of your business pumps blood and life through the entire organization. Now, within blood is, you have the blood particles and you have oxygen that travels with the blood. Now, if you're not doing a good job and the heart doesn't pump well, then the oxygen cannot be transmitted to the other areas in the body, and in this analogy, in your business. So if the heart is not there, if the heart is not working correctly, you're going to you're going to have troubles in other areas of your business, and you might not even be aware of it, of where that stems from. And it stems from the beliefs and the values. When you're in alignment and congruent with your beliefs and your values, then you have a heart of a champion. It's like the cardio, right? So how many of you do cardio on a regular basis? You know, get your heart pumping. You need to do cardio for your business as well. And that's what really the strong beliefs and the values that are supportive, because we all have values and beliefs that are not supportive, but really having supportive values and beliefs in your business is going to make you a strong and healthy business. And with misalignment, the heart is overworked, it's burned out, and you just barely keep your business alive because it's just not pumping correctly. So note about the neurological levels: the higher the levels are and the greater influence you have, and the lower the levels are, the less influence. So we started yesterday on the soul, which was at the very top, the mission, the purpose, and the identity. That is the highest level of influence in your business. And now we're going through the values and the beliefs. It's harder to change the higher levels. It's easier to change the lower levels. As we move down, you're going to also see that. You're going to start, as you're applying it in your own business, as you're applying it in your business plan and your day-to-day operations, you're going to feel and see and hear that as a feedback. So tapping into your beliefs and your values can have a profound impact on your business, and then therefore also on your personal life. John.
Good. So values are the heart of the business, but NLP is all about defining your terms, because then you can have a good conversation about what it means. So values are defined as rules or habits of conduct with reference to standards of right and wrong. That's values defined. Rules or habits of conduct in reference to standards of right and wrong. So values affect how you sell and how you like to be sold. We talk about the law of requisite variety. The person with the most flexibility controls the system. So values affect how you sell and how you like to be sold too. If you can get more into their world and their values, you will be more successful. But values come from deep within the person's psyche. It comes from a very deep level. And don't mistake this for a second. People will die for their values. That is how important they are. So what are some of the sources of values? Parents and close family members, schools, religious organizations, government, culture, ethnicity, personal history. NLP, we're talking about neuro-linguistic programming. Well, when you're very young, you are literally downloading values from the very culture you're in. You're like a fish swimming in the water. Until you're much older, you're literally downloading those values into your system uncritically, unconsciously, and automatically. And most of a person's values crystallize by age 10. By then, they're largely formed and largely fixed. Think about a solution in water, and then eventually it crystallizes into a crystal. By age 10, your values are largely crystallized. So we're going to talk about and tap into how to tap into your values to make them sharper and more relief, or if you need to readjust, reframe some values that you may have downloaded unconsciously when you were a young person, to reframe them so they're no longer limiting you, they can serve you. And we're all about chat box declarations. So I want you to put into the chat box, type in values matter. Type in values matter, because they are the heart of your business. Chat box declaration, values matter. Over to you, Brigitte.
Yeah, thank you so much, John. And values do matter. And if you think back of what you value most in your life, and you have not defined what you value in your business, then that is a good feedback for you, that you have not thought about that in depth enough. So Let's go into the examples of beliefs and values from an NLP point and an NLP perspective. Your values and your beliefs is also evidence of your success, or could also be a lack of values and a lack of beliefs, or non-supportive values or non-supportive beliefs in your business can also be the result in the lack of success. So you're wanting to find the evidence of success in asking, what is important to my business? What is important to my customers? But really, what is important to my business, and what does my business stand for? What is my business belief, and what is valuable to my business? So really think about that as you're going through those questions, or through that specific question. What is important to my business? What is the value? Some of you that work with us closely, I have you do a belief table. So really put on the tabletop, imagine a table, put on the tabletop, if for your business, you believe that giving back is the most important thing, and it is very, very valuable, you want to put that on the tabletop and find evidence, and the evidence that you are finding of how you are giving back, how you are making a bigger impact in the community, stand as evidence under the table. Those are the legs of the table and support the tabletop. The more evidence you have under your table, the more evidence you have, the stronger the value and the stronger the belief. The less evidence you have, so how many legs do you need for a table to stand firmly? How many know? The trick question. Yes, 4, right? So you need to have at least 4 legs of evidence to stand strong on your values and your beliefs. So the belief table is a great, very simple exercise that you can easily do, and I have them do them with you as we work on one-on-one many times together. So there are so many powerful questions that we can ask. Clearly, we don't have time today to go through them, but we are going to cover them in our future programs. So at the end of the day, it really is, the question is, are you a heart-driven business? And if you are a heart-driven business, declare it right now in the chat box. I am a heart-driven business. I am a heart-driven business, and put that in the chat box right now. Again, to some of you, that might sound a little woo-hoo. And if you are skipping steps in these neurological levels, you're setting yourself up for failure. So you cannot skip any of these steps in the neurological levels. You got to go through all of them, and the stronger of evidence you have, or the more evidence you have, the stronger it stands. So you are I am a heart-driven business. John.
Great. Again, you're declaring it, you're putting it out into space, and this is going to be even more important in the days and weeks and months ahead. Let's talk about life cycle events that can impact values. There's typically 5 life cycle events that impact a person's values: a marriage, a birth of a child, a life-threatening illness, divorce, or death. So life cycle events or crises cause a reordering or a reprioritization of a person's values. I know any of you are parents. Once you had a birth of a child, your first child, anytime a new child came into the world, you reprioritized or refocused on the values that were important to you. This pandemic is affecting and causing multiple life cycle events. Marriages are being put off because they're uncertain about the futures. People who have been married, now it's an even different situation. Imagine having a child under these circumstances. Very different. Life-threatening illness, someone you know, or you certainly on the news may know about that. Divorces may go up after this. We're not sure. People are dying. So almost everyone worldwide are reassessing or reprioritizing their values. And that's why there's a tremendous opportunity to connect with new customers during their own values reassessment and reprioritization process. I said before, everything is now in play. The virus is affecting all these different values that people have, these life cycle events. Well, if you're a heart-driven business, now you have an opportunity to really connect with these new customers that you wouldn't have 2 months ago, because 2 months ago, they were semi-asleep on autopilot. They aren't anymore. Brigitte?
Yes. So it's so necessary that you pump that oxygen with your heart through your business. Your heart is the center of your business, and super excited that we have gone through all of the strategies that we wanted to go through all of them with you in exactly 15 minutes. Now, I'm going to send you the recording of today yet again with the outline and the workbook again sometime today. And here's a challenge or a suggestion for you. Listen to it again, read it again, go through your notes again, review what you have written down yet again, because repetition is the first law of learning. The practice will make you the master. And literally, as I have mentioned to you before, the German saying, there's no master that has fallen from heaven. In order for you to become a master at these neurological levels and a master in your business, you want to review, implement, and review and practice more and more. As we're going tomorrow into the current and future capabilities, which is the head of your business. So tomorrow we're going to talk about the head of your business. And just like any parts of your body, it's not just one or the other. It is the entire body. It is all of the levels of in the neurological pyramid, and it is all of the body parts that we are talking about right now, including the soul, which is not a body part. So thank you guys for being on yet again today. John, do you have any closing words as I stop sharing my screen?
The next course is going to be next Tuesday, because today is Thursday. Yes. So next Tuesday, 9 a.m. Pacific. Alana, you're Pacific like I am, and 12 o'clock Eastern, noon for everyone else. So we're going to be talking about the head of your business, your current and future capabilities, because that's where you really manifest it and put it into action. Brigitte, over to you.
Thank you so much, John. And we're also sharing all of this on live stream on Facebook. So if you have anyone that is super interested in this, you also can just send them to our NLP Atlanta Facebook page, and they can watch all the live streams there that we have been doing this week. So see you guys again next Tuesday, 9 o'clock Pacific, 12 o'clock Eastern. Thank you guys for being on. John, thank you as always. Pleasure to be here with you. See you next Tuesday. Bye.
Bye-bye.
All right, we made it. Yet one more time. Welcome back. Welcome back. Happy Tuesday, everyone. I'm super excited to be here with you for our 4th day of the 6th series, the Neurological Levels and Your Winning Edge. Welcome back, everyone, here on Zoom and on Facebook Live. Super excited to be here with you yet again as we are starting this week. Well, I hope that you guys started the week really, really strong yesterday, as yesterday was Monday. And we ended with number 3 in our 6 series course here with, actually, before I go into that, welcome, John Kerth. John, it's always a pleasure to be here with you. Brigitte Höfele, NLP Institute of Atlanta, and John Kerth. John?
I'm John Kerth. I'm president of Syntactic Sales Scripting, a fellow NLP grandmaster like Brigitte, and author of What Are Your Words Wearing? See, Brigitte and I want to deliver so much value that we just want to jump right in. That's just how we're wired. Brigitte, over to you.
We just want to, we're excited to be here with you, and sometimes my excitement gets the best. So have something to write with and something to write on as we are delivering you content-rich information, and continue to do so as we learn together, as we deliver more information to you in the upcoming days and weeks. It's, you know, kudos to you for being here. You are investing yourself. I cannot stress enough how important it is to invest in yourself. I just had that conversation with my daughter yesterday as we were going out for a morning walk. And, you know, she's a senior. She's graduating in 2 days, feels like 2 days, 2 weeks. And I said, so what's next, right? She's got accepted. She's got a great scholarship of almost $100,000 in one of the top schools, art schools here in the United States in Chicago. And she says, well, maybe I just want to do a gap year. And she's got 3 films lined up where she is the star in the films, which, you know, in regards to the pandemic right now, that's put on hold. But it's really, you are investing in yourself. And I asked her, so how are you investing in yourself in the summer? And she says, you know, that's a really good question. I know I'm not going to get bored. That is for sure. She's my kid. So let's go right into it. You're not going to get bored here in the upcoming 15 to 20 minutes. So get ready as we're giving you content-rich information, because we're practicing with you. We're modeling for you, because practice makes the master. So John Kerth and I, we're going to go right into the head of your business today. So as I am sharing that, I'm also sharing my screen with you. And kudos to everyone that was on here early on the Zoom. You were able to take advantage of picking John Kerth and my brain and asking questions. So the head of your business, let me go ahead and play this. Okay. So we have talked about in our last week's courses, we talked about the purpose and the identity. We have talked about the values and the beliefs, which that was the heart. That's what we talked last on Thursday, the heart of your business. The purpose and the identity is the soul of your business. And today we're talking about the head of your business. So the head of your business is truly the current capabilities. What is it capable of now? And as we're going through this time right now, what are the future capabilities? And they're probably somewhat shifting. And we talked about reinventing and readapting and restructuring. So the question here then is, as we are going through the capabilities, do we rise to our level of expectation, or do we fall to our level of training? Do we rise to the expectation, or do we fall back to our level of training? As we go through the current and future capabilities, the head of your business and beliefs and values, I'm asking you, do you rise to your level of expectation, or do you fall to your level of training? And then looking back at, what is your level of training? What is your default, if you will? So it's actually both. NLP is all about becoming more resourceful, more flexible, increasing choice. We're going to talk about choice more. And then we're looking at what is the possibility to rise to your level of expectation. This is so important, that you are working with the right teachers, that you are working with the teachers, that you're not just choosing any kind of NLP self-announced gurus, that you are learning from people that have learned from the masters themselves. So because John and I, our lineage goes straight back to the founders and the originators of NLP, we are immediately falling into that direct lineage, and you are getting the knowledge and the information not watered down, not made up, but you're getting it truly from the source. And that all in itself has a lot of quality, and it has a lot of energy to it. So in high stress situations, we often fall back to our level of training by default, as I said it earlier, right? And if one chooses not to practice, if one chooses not to continue the training, that default might not be a whole lot. So it's really up to you to identify and become aware of the choice that you have. Sometimes our training is appropriate for the situation, and sometimes the training that we are using is not appropriate for the situation. It feels uncomfortable, but it's not the correct response that we're getting to by default if we have not allowed ourselves to train or to program ourselves in a better way and to respond in a better situation. So not responding the right way that we actually want to respond can make the situation even worse. Everyone go, we've all been there. It's not a good situation. And then from there, it just goes kind of spirals downward. So in the chat box, why don't you write down right now and declare it that I exceed expectations, that you exceed your own expectations. I exceed expectations. And you can only exceed your expectations by becoming aware of it and by wanting to be an avid learner and to be a continuous learner. I exceed expectations. That is the declaration, the first one for this morning. John?
Good. Yes, because it's about training, expectations, and meaning. You actually need to have both. So today we're going to be talking about using the neurological levels to identify your individual capabilities, about you. So capability is defined as having capacity or ability. Capacity or ability. Both those are key because we've all heard the saying, oh, I'm at max bandwidth. I don't have the bandwidth. That is really a statement of capacity. They don't have enough capacity. You may have enough ability, but not the capacity. So being capable is having capacity or ability. Let's talk about your individual current capabilities. Now, maybe you're a small business owner, so you are the solopreneur. It may be you're working for another firm. It could be you're at home teaching your kids. A lot of us are now. So let's talk about your individual capabilities. So NLP is all about asking the right questions, because when you ask the right questions, you're 50% of the way towards getting the right answer. So what are your current individual capabilities for your job or for your business? What are your current individual capabilities for your job or business? You got to be totally honest here. An honest evaluation is essential. Lying to yourself doesn't work, so just be honest here. What are your current individual capabilities for a new market? What are your current new individual capabilities for a new role? Or it is a new market. Some people's industries are drying up overnight. So you have to pivot to a different industry. So what are my current individual capabilities for a new market? You're not going to have the time to go back to school, ladies and gentlemen. You're going to have to pivot now. All right. What are your individual future capabilities? Now, the future is nebulous. It could be 3 months, 6 months, 6 years, doesn't matter. So what are your individual future capabilities to serve an existing market better? When you serve an existing market better, that's called you're selling them more per person. You're adding more value per person. That is going to make your value per customer go up. So what are your individual future capabilities to serve an existing market? And what are your individual future capabilities to serve a new market? New markets, you have to embrace the change. That is where a lot of the growth you're looking for yourself is going to be there, not in your current business typically. So in the chat box, I want you to put into a declaration, I develop new capabilities. I develop new capabilities. Put that in the chat box. When you're putting in the chat box, you're declaring it, which has incredible power to it. Brigitte.
Yes, let's go into the choices. So using the neurological levels to identify organizational capabilities, the organizational current capabilities, asking the questions, what are the organization's current capabilities for the current market? So what are you going to do with what you got? And what are the organization's current capabilities for a new market? We talked about, I think it was TJ Maxx, I think it was in this course, TJ Maxx last week, where, you know, their stores are not open. Their website is not working, or at least it just says, you know what, you cannot shop on this website. So that clearly they're missing the mark on getting ready for their new market. And then there's the organizational future capabilities that are required. The question here is, what is the organization's future capability required to serve an existing market better? What are the organization's future capabilities required to serve an existing market better? So what can you do in the future, tomorrow, next week, next month, to serve the market that you have right now, in the market that you have? We talked about in one of our courses about restaurants. What else can they do with what they have right now and serve the people without doing business as usual? And then the question also arises, what are the organization's future capabilities required to serve a new market? So reinventing themselves, restructuring for something, for the market that is new out there. What else can they do? What else can you do with what you're offering in tapping into a new market and serving this new market? And it might be that now it's not going from only a very local market. You might be opening up into a more national market, or perhaps even more global market, which would be a great thing for you to do. And some of you might see that that is happening, where if it weren't for this pandemic, you would have not seen that. So embrace the opportunity that is there, embrace the possibilities that are there. And then you can view what organizational capabilities need to be developed through all sections of the neurological levels. Remember, we're starting at the very top, your purpose, your mission, through the identity. So going through the soul and going through the heart of your business. So, you know, what beliefs and values would be necessary to develop a new market? What are some of the beliefs and values that we talked last Thursday about that you need to develop a new market, and define those beliefs and those values, as Alana asked earlier, as we had open office. So you gotta become aware of what are those values of your own business and of your customers and of your staff, that you can develop such new market or such demand. How many of you are familiar with the company 3M? Right? 3M, I can't remember what they started out with. They started out with one very simple product that's sticky, right? And out of that came so many other different products, the sticky note being one of them, because they tried to develop a glue, and the glue wouldn't stick, and they found, well, wait a minute, this sticks but not sticks, sticks and not sticks, and now everyone has sticky notes in their office. I actually have a client who loves sticky notes, and she has them in all shapes and sizes and colors and everything. That's beside the point. Innovation is one of their core values. And do you think that the core value of innovation greatly serves 3M Company? You better believe it, because they have really perfected it, adapting to other situations, to looking at what else can we do with this glue that we have. What else can we do with that? We can make little strips to put on stairs so people don't slip. All sorts of incredible things that they have come up with over the last decades. So the key question here to define capabilities is what? Always asking what is the organization's future capability required? What are the organization's future capability that are required to serve a new market? So the question that you want to ask when it comes to capabilities is what? John?
Good. Yeah. 3M started out making sandpaper and glue.
Sandpaper and glue.
Sandpaper and glue. They started in roughly 1917. But the concept of innovation, that core value, enables them to find new applications. In fact, they require, I think it's roughly 20% of all new revenue in a rolling 5-year period has to come from new products and new markets. Well, that's a ton of revenue when you think about a company as big as 3M. So let's talk about another company that is important about Royal Dutch Shell capability development model. Now, the principles stay the same. The only thing that changes is the scale. I've been personally trained by a scenario planner from Royal Dutch Shell, one of the largest oil companies in the world. All right, now capabilities from Shell's perspective is all about options. Remember, NLP is all about increasing choice for the individual. Increasing choice for the organization is all about options. The TJ Maxx story that Brigitte talked about, they didn't have the website in place, so that option was foreclosed to them. So it's all about increasing options for the company, is all about capabilities. There's really two perspectives. Both are correct. It's not one or the other. There's the internal perspective, which is an inside-out focus. It's investing in organic growth. What can we do internally? That is totally valid, and that's a great place to start. There is also the external perspective, developing the business portfolio. Where Brigitte mentioned about how are you going to serve other geographic markets? You could do that with a joint venture. You could do it with a strategic partnership. You could do it with a merger and acquisition. You could actually buy the company out. And you don't have to be a multi-million-dollar company to do it. There are business brokers who are selling companies every day now. So you take either an internal or external perspective. But when you're talking about increasing choice for a company, your business, it's all about developing real options. So Brigitte and I take our clients through advanced portfolio and capability options in another course to develop real options for your business. TJ Maxx didn't have any real options. Their website failed. You want real options for your business. Brigitte, over to you.
Thank you so much, John. Look, if you have not learned anything else, it is all about the choice. It is all about the flexibility that you're gaining with NLP, moving through the neurological levels. It is all about moving away from pain, moving towards pleasure. And you can do that beautifully as we continue to learn with you and you learning from us and we learning a little bit from you and getting to know you more. So tomorrow we're going to have all hands on deck as we are going through the hands of your business. So the hands of your business is all about the neurological levels applied to behaviors and environment as we are going down the triangle, the pyramid of the neurological levels. So all hands on deck tomorrow. It's all about repetition, guys. You have been with us and you are continuously showing up and you are going to continue to show up. Repetition is the first law of learning. And kudos to you for continuing to show up, to pour into yourself, to re-listen and review what we're sending you. As always, I'm going to send you the recording of today. I'm sending you the outline so you can follow along. And once we have completed this 6 series, I will then also edit it again and post it on YouTube for you to go and watch it there or share it with others from there on our YouTube channel, NLP Atlanta. For today, I think that is it. We're excited about tomorrow again. We're going to see you tomorrow, same time, same place, 9 o'clock Pacific time, 12 o'clock Eastern. And as we go through the hands of your business. Thank you, John, for being here. I'll see you guys tomorrow. I'm going to stop sharing the screen and wish you a great afternoon. Bye-bye.
Or observations before we kick this off from anyone?
I would say let's get started. And
Yeah.
Kendall, you know what? We have you on here. I might as well just be silent because you are totally singing my song. It is all about the repetition. Welcome everyone to All Hands on Deck, the hands of your business, neurological levels, and your winning edge. Today is number 5 of 6. We're again excited and grateful that you are here with us today. I sent out the recording a little late this morning to you from yesterday. So please, 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 as Alana said, go back, re-listen to it. The mastery is in the repetition. So go back, you have the recordings, make use of them, download them to your computer and review them. Review. And the quicker you can review information from the first time you heard them, the deeper they're going to go. So thank you, John, for being here with us here again, my fellow grandmaster. John, you want to say a few welcoming words?
Yeah, I will. One other thing. Yes, you want to listen again and again, but do not listen in your car, because
Oh, yes.
sometimes we're very hypnotic in our language. So you're not driving any vehicles when listening to these courses. You're going to be sitting on it at home. Yes, I'm John Kerth. I'm president and founder of Syntactic Sales Scripting. I'm an NLP grandmaster, and I'm the author of What Are Your Words Wearing? So, Brigitte, over to you.
All right, let's get right into it. I surely hope that the telephone is shut off, that you have something to write on and something to write with, as we're going to give you great information yet again today, as we're going to continue to give you even more information and going deeper into the neurological levels as we move forward, because guess what? There's going to be more. There's always going to be more to learn, more to observe, and more to absorb into your own being, so you can adapt it into your business and apply it into your business. So today we're all about, let me share my screen with you guys. Righty. Can you guys see my screen? Yes. So today we're talking about the hands. Awesome. Thank you. The hands of your business. And we've started at the very beginning, when we started last week, on the very top of this neurological levels triangle, with the purpose, the mission, and the identity, and moving down through the values of the beliefs, the capabilities. And today we're going to cover behaviors and environment. So those are your hands of your business. As we've traveled through the soul, the heart, the head. The head, thank you, the head, and today the hands. Thank you for that. See, that's why I have John on this call. We're just great tag teaming. So the behavior is what your organization does, or what organizations do. We're analyzing the organizational and individual behaviors as we go through today. Behaviors can usually be seen or heard and are tangible. Although we might hear behaviors, we might not see it as something tangible. However, it is something that is tangible. An organization can be described as the sum total of its behaviors. And one of the NLP laws of success is that you can calibrate on the behaviors. How many of you have taken our NLP practitioner course by a show of hands? As we're hoping that you are on the video feed. I'm going to go on the calibration, thank you, a little deeper into this later. So the behavior, or the lack of behavior, is what's going to be visible. What's going to show out in your organization. Therefore, I can't remember, was one wise man, I can't remember exactly who said it, but said it so wisely, and that is, poor behavior is a lack of communication. I'm going to say that again. Poor behavior is a lack of communication. This is what we're all about. John and I, as we established earlier, when we were probably not live yet and not on recording, that you can calibrate and listen to our language patterns, and that's what's going to shape our own behavior and the behavior of others that are listening to us as we are influencing others. And first and foremost, we're influencing ourselves with our own words and our own language. So right now in the chat box, I invite you to declare that your behavior is impeccable. And that also means that your communication is impeccable. So your behavior is impeccable. Declare that in the chat box. My behavior is impeccable. John, over to you.
Great. All right, so let's go a little further on to the next slide. Remember, this is the behavior of the hands of your business. There's a saying, all hands on deck. That comes from the U.S. Navy. It's not all sailors on deck. It's all hands on deck. There's a lot of Latin roots based off the word manus, which means hand. Now, that's where it comes from, the Latin root. NLP is all about language. It's really good to go to the source. Now, there's the word manipulate. Now, manipulate, its first definition is to operate or control skillfully by the use of the hands. To operate and control skillfully by the use of the hands. Yes, you have the second definition, which has the negative connotation, manipulating others in an unethical way. But its origin is skillful use of the hands. Also, manifest means to show, or manifest rather, comes from manifestus, to show or demonstrate or reveal. Brigitte said earlier, behaviors are a result of poor communication. That's the cause. So the manifestation of it is poor communication equals poor behavior. So your behaviors reveal and demonstrate to yourself, but more importantly to others, who you are. So you need to be very clear about your business behaviors, because how does your business and people perform under times of high stress? When everything is going along smooth sailing, yeah, everything's fine. But once you get high stress, stress on the business, stress in the environment, people's true behaviors get revealed. And if you have not done the work on the neurological levels, on mission and purpose, identity and values, when you get to a high stress situation, then you'll get the end justifies the means behavior. Well, we'll just do anything to make it work. That's end justify the means behavior, and that is not sustainable. It's ultimately damage to your business and to your brand. That's why when you have mission and purpose, identity and values, then you can still find the solution within those parameters. Remember, NLP talks about calibrate on behavior. Their words will lie to you. Their behavior will not. Calibrate on behavior. Your customers are calibrating on your behavior. If you're a leader in the company, your employees are calibrating on your behavior. NLP is all about the language of success, and use your language to give yourself a hand. Let me repeat that. NLP is all about the language of success, and use your language to give yourself a hand. So in the chat box, type this: give yourself a hand. That's your chat box declaration. Give yourself a hand. Brigitte?
Yeah, let's talk about a little bit more on calibrating on behavior. Calibrate on behavior. The ones that have more information and more background in NLP already know what this is, and I want to decipher it a little bit more. And calibrate on behavior applies to all individuals and to organizations. Calibration means more than just observing. It is a deciphering of what something means. So you're calibrating on behavior. One of the success laws of NLP is you cannot not communicate. That also applies to the behavior. The behavior or the message that you're getting through the behavior is going to be a nonverbal communication that you will calibrate on. Let me give you an example. A smoker tells a teenager, say I'm a smoker, which I'm not, and I tell my daughter who's a teenager, hey, don't smoke. Well, first of all, that's completely incongruent and out of alignment. So what's the teenager going to do? Calibrate on that behavior. So look at what behavior you are shaping and forming as you go through the neurological levels, because a person's words may lie to you, their behavior doesn't. You cannot not communicate. Always remember that. Your customer and employees are the same way. They will calibrate on your behavior, as John just said. So you really want to ask yourself as the key question to clarify the question, what? As you are going through the behaviors, what kind of behavior do you want out of your customers? What kind of behavior do you want out of your staff? What kind of behaviors do you want out of yourself? So it all starts with good communication and good language patterns to shape your behavior and the people's behavior that you have interaction with in your organization. So declare it right now. I calibrate on behavior. In the chat box, declare it. I calibrate on behavior. Let's talk about environments.
Yeah, let's go into environments. There's two types. Environment is stronger than willpower. I don't care. Many entrepreneurs and business people have tremendous amount of willpower. Environment is stronger than willpower because it's harder to thrive in an environment that requires willpower. Willpower is finite. You will eventually run out of it. Willpower is not sustainable. This is something from the U.S. Civil War. When General Grant was attempting the siege of Vicksburg, he decided, I'm going to use our soldiers and I'm going to reroute the course of the Mississippi River. I'm going to change the course of the Mississippi River. That was will. Sorry, Mississippi River isn't going to change. So willpower, environment is stronger than willpower. So remember, willpower environments are not sustainable. Your willpower will eventually run out. However, there's a different type of environment. These are environments that have the power of release. It's a totally different look or feel. There's something in engineering or business, it's called the theory of constraints. You're looking for the bottlenecks or constraints in your business. And when you remove the bottlenecks, you remove the constraints, there's a tremendous release of pent-up energy. So think about a MLB batter, all right? When they're in the batter's box warming up, they put a bat weight on the edge of the bat. It makes it heavier, so they're getting used to swinging with a heavier bat. Before they step up to the plate, they take off the batting weight, and now it's easier to swing the bat. It's faster to swing the bat. That's the energy of release. So in your business, looking to remove bottlenecks, you'll have a more energizing environment and a more sustainable environment for your business. Brigitte, let's take another look at the NLP perspective on environments.
Yes. So in the environment, from an NLP perspective, you want to create a safe space, especially in times of uncertainty as we have them right now. You want to create more certainty within also and create more variety within that more safe, that safe space to create a good, solid environment. Let me give you an example. I own a Montessori school, and within the Montessori school, we're all about creating safe environments, not just for the kids, but also for the parents, that they have peace of mind, that they can send their children to our school, and for our staff, that they know, okay, within this environment, I can do this, this, and this. These are my objectives. These are my responsibilities. Within that safe environment, if you know anything about Montessori, it is a very, some people see it as loose, but it is a very structured, unstructured, safe environment. That means that the child is allowed within the boundaries that we are setting to create that safe environment, that the child is able to feel safe enough and trust that they can go and explore their own next level of growth. Only when one feels safe and one feels trusted, they can go and grow more. And that's the same going to be for your organization. The more you allow your clients, the more you allow your staff to go and explore within the safe environment that you have created, the longer they're going to stay with you, and the more raving fans you're going to get, because they're going to go out and tell others. Your staff's going to go out and tell others. Your clients are going to go out and tell others, and they want to come back to the safe environment that you have created. Either you have created virtually, or you have created an actually physical environment, because both can be created simultaneously, or either one. Right now, we're getting really, really good at creating online environments just like this. So the key questions you want to ask yourself about environments is where and how. So defining working and influencing in your environments, which is multiple. I'm not just working in one environment, I'm working in several environments. So is John, and you want to define that, and you want to ask the questions where and how. So this is all about the behaviors, the environments, the hands of your business that we have gone through today. And I cannot stress it enough. Repetition is going to be your best friend. It is the first law of learning. So we're going to go out and send you the recording of today again with the outline of today. Please revisit, listen to it again, share it with others if you will. And we're going to be here tomorrow, and we're going to talk about the application of the neurological levels to the organizational change and leadership development. So this is going to be an incredible one where we're going to bring it all together. So you cannot miss this tomorrow. Bring it all together, and then we're going to continue our path of learning as we move forward. John, thank you for being here. Do you have any last words for today?
No, keep listening again and again and again. There's so much packed information in these courses. And again, since you're learning the language patterns, you will learn it both consciously and subconsciously. It'll go right in. So yes, repetition is a lot of learning. Brigitte, you're the head of the NLP Center of Atlanta. I'll let you take this on home.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you for being here. Share the love. I will see you guys tomorrow. Look for the recording yet once more. And tomorrow, same time, same place, 9 o'clock Pacific, 12 o'clock Eastern. Bye, guys. All right. Welcome, everyone, to day 6 of 6 in our neurological levels. We're super excited. We've gone through the soul, the head, the heart, the hands. And today we're bringing it all together. Today we're looking at application for the organizational change and leadership development. We're super excited that we're here with you today, going through a few housekeepings really quick. Make sure that this thing is off. That is your phone. You don't need it right now, but you do need a pen or a pencil or something to write with. And also, this is to humor one of our participants that are here. We talked about sticky notes yesterday. Have something to write on and write with, because we are going to give you yet again content-rich information for you to review, for you to practice, for you to implement, for you to apply in your business. We wanted to go live on Facebook. It is still thinking about it. Maybe we'll go live. Maybe we won't today. I'll definitely share the recording on Facebook later on today, which brings me to, if you're not part of our Facebook group yet, or our Facebook page, NLP Atlanta is our Facebook page. You can also find more information on our YouTube channels, NLP Atlanta. Follow us on Twitter, NLP Atlanta. Follow us on Instagram, NLP Atlanta. You kind of get the picture. NLP Atlanta is for all of our social media, and we'd love for you to follow us, and we will surely follow you back. I'm excited to be here yet again today with grandmaster and fellow powerhouse, John Kerth. John, welcome.
Welcome. Thanks, Brigitte. Again, I'm co-founder of, I'm the founder of Syntactic Sales Scripting. I am an adjunct faculty with, more a full-time faculty with the NLP Center of Atlanta. I'm an NLP grandmaster. I'm the author of this book, What Are Your Words Wearing? And if you're really advanced with NLP, you'll notice in the title is a linguistic pattern interrupt. Brigitte, over to you.
Super. If you're paying attention to how and what John is saying in the language pattern that he's using, that alone is just, it's so rich and such great nuggets that you're getting as we're moving through these courses. So we talked before we went onto the recording, we talked about consistency, and we talked about, giving you value and creating a safe space, creating a safe environment, what we talked about yesterday as we were going through behavior and environment. And we have been so consistent bringing you content-rich information over the last, I'm going to say now, 3 weeks, 4 weeks probably? And we're going to continue to do that and bring you more and more and yet more. So let's dive right into it. Let me share my screen with you, as Facebook is still trying to figure out if it wants to work or not. So today we're talking about the application of the neurological levels in your organizational change, to your let's try that again, to your organizational change and leadership development. All right. So we talked about the entire model of the neurological levels, starting with the soul of your business, the purpose and the identity and the mission, then going into the head of your neurological levels of your organization, the values and the beliefs, going into the heart that pumps through the organization, and then going through the hands, all hands on deck, we talked about that yesterday, of your organization, the behaviors and the environment. And today we're putting it all together. So do take notes, because you're going to start to see how it's coming together, how you can apply, and how you can use this model for your own, in your own organization and for your own life. So the neurological levels model is one of the most practical NLP models that you can use. It is simple, and yet it's very complex, and it can allow you to go really, really deep and to create change in a very strategic way. So you can apply what you have learned at any specific level. And there was a great question, John, at the very beginning of our 6th series, and I think it was Dan Schneider that asked it. Do you remember the question, John?
No. When now?
was,
I think I'll remember it later. I'll let you ask it.
I believe it was, and Dan's on today, and Dan helped me remember it too. I think you asked if one area in the neurological levels change, will it cascade? Which was a great, great question. And yes, it will. So you can see the entire model in its totality to gain new insights. You can start applying your insights from the neurological levels now. And I encourage you to declare it right now that you are indeed integrating the neurological levels in your organization, in your life. So in the chat box right now, say, I am integrating. And if you want to spell it fully out, you can say, I am integrating the neurological levels. I am integrating the neurological levels. Why do we have you declare these declarations that we have been giving you throughout the last 6 series? There is power in declaring something. There's power in speaking it out. There's power in sharing it with others, because now it's not just living in here, and often it's like a washing machine going around and round and round, but you're putting it out there, you're putting it in the world, and you're putting it out into the universe. And you know, we've talked about this on several occasions. The universe rewards one thing and one thing only, and that's the one that takes action. So with you declaring it, you have taken action. It is out there. John.
Good. So let's talk about using neurological levels for organizational change. As we mentioned, the NLP is called the success technologies. It's a body of knowledge that, taken together, is all about success technologies. And really, the neurological levels model is one of the most powerful NLP success technologies because it's so applicable. It allows you to chunk up to see things at a higher level, and chunk down to go very deep to see what action steps you can take. Now, neurological levels can be used to improve performance, structure, and culture. Why don't you advance the slide, Brigitte, on performance, structure, and culture.
There it is.
Now, regarding improving performance, there are questions you can ask at each level. So how is this specific level affecting performance? So how is the mission and purpose affecting performance? You ask that for each level. How is this specific level affecting performance? So how is the mission and purpose level affecting performance? What would need to change at this level to improve the mission and purpose? What we need to change at this level to improve, fill in the blank with which level you're now talking about. Then you can see the cascading effects, because, and like a waterfall, it cascades down and down and down. It's a series of waterfall steps. So the higher you start, you can see how those steps trickle down. It's much more trickle down, cascading. Bottom up is very, very hard in any organization. Go a level higher, and then you will be able to affect change change lower. So we also talked about bottlenecks. What bottlenecks or constraints could I remove to improve performance? Oftentimes, removing a block will release more energy than innovating something new, whether that's personally with yourself or in an organization. Removing a block typically releases more energy. Those are the low-hanging fruits. You take care of those, you have a whole lot more energy to then attack or change higher level or more difficult problems. So again, focusing on the neurological levels for changing organizational structure, organizational culture, the neurological levels model is very well suited to that. And there's a whole different series of questions and processes that Brigitte and I take people through and businesses through when they're looking to change organizational structure and organizational culture. So I want you to put in the chat box right now, organizational change is easy. Organizational change is easy. Please put that in the chat box, and I'm going to hand it on over to Brigitte.
Awesome. Yes, change is easy. I agree. And it's even easier when we have great leadership, not someone that has a whip from the back and kind of whips people on and says, this is what you need to do, but someone that carries the torch from the front and says, here, come follow me, let's go. So this is the biggest, you guys have all, I'm pretty sure that you've all seen a similar meme or a similar picture to this. So let's talk about applying the neurological levels to leadership development on a personal and business breakthrough. As John just said, it is necessary to start at the very top. The more you can define your mission, your purpose, the soul of your business, your, Simon Sinek calls it the why, the more it can cascade down. Remember, NLP is all about being in a more resourceful state or finding more resourceful states. So to be an effective leader, one must be more resourceful. And guys, there's great news in this. You all already have the resources that you need. You just need to become aware of them. And being in workshops and courses like these will give you, just like Valerie said it earlier, oh, I already have that. I already applied that at some point in my life. I can do that again. Once you have done something once, it's easy to do it again, right? And you have gone through this on a high-level overview here within this course in the last six courses. So leadership is more important right now than ever before. You all are leaders in your own right. The key distinction here is between the management and the leadership. And Peter Drucker said it so well. Management is about doing things, and leadership is about doing the right things. Management is about doing things right, and leadership is about doing the right things. So, are you a manager or are you a leader? What do you choose to be? As long as we work with you, we're always going to hold you to your higher leadership. So you can use the neurological levels for leadership development for yourself. Remember, we talked about behaviors yesterday, for yourself and for others. Starts with oneself if you want to create change in yourself, in your organization. Many organizations have leadership gaps. We talked about the gaps before. Often companies have too many managers that are telling people what to do and not enough leaders that are carrying the torch and going with you and really modeling. NLP is all about success modeling. We are modeling, it's expert modeling. The neurological levels identify the gaps in leadership in all levels. Identify the gaps in your own life on all levels. Now we've given you a great structure, a great strategy that you can apply to all of those levels. So right now I'd like for you to think just for a few seconds, where can you apply this? You don't have to write it in the chat box. I want you to write this down for for yourself and your notes. Where right now, starting now, are you going to apply what you have learned? Because it's all about the application, or else it's going to go in the shelf and it's going to become shelf help with all of the other stuff that you have learned at some point. So the neurological levels is a perspective in what needs to be done to close your gaps, to close those gaps that you have defined. And we're going to continue to close more gaps with you as we're going to continue to offer you more courses, more classes, more continuous learning opportunities. We're also applying the neurological levels to rapid leadership development, and that requires more detailed questions and more detailed processes that we will cover in other courses and in other classes and other webinars. And another program where we'll cover key processes that you can use within the neurological levels to rapidly improve your leadership abilities, and then also scale those leadership development. I know that speaks to a lot of you on this call, and you have been asking us to give you more. That there's only so much we can cover within the time that we have together in these 6 series, and we are going to give you more. Right now, I'd like for you to give us that you truly are declaring that you're a dynamic leader. So right now in the chat box, declare it. I am a dynamic leader, because you are a dynamic leader. Imagine being an even more dynamic leader. And what would you need to be a more dynamic leader? Leaders, listen. This is probably one of the hardest things, or the biggest pain point that people come to me when they're looking to work with me. They just don't know how to talk to their client, or to create a different culture, or to create change in their organization. Start listening. We as leaders listen to you. There are many people that came back to us and said, oh my gosh, John and Brigitte, you did it again. You have created an incredible course over 6 series. I want to know more. That's great news. That's great news for us. That's great news for you, because we're going to do a deep dive in the 6 series on the neurological levels. So we're going to dive deeper into the neurological levels and give you more exercises, and give you more information, and give you more applications that you can then take those strategies and apply them on an even deeper level. So what does that mean? I'm going to give you the syntax that John is such an incredible master at in writing the syntaxes. I'm going to give you the syntax of the next 6 series that we're launching next Tuesday. So we're going to continue. Consistency is key. We're going to continue next Tuesday, 12 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock Pacific, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So syntax course number 1 is, what's the soul of your business? The neurological levels apply to the mission, the purpose, and identity. Now we're going to go way deeper into what we have talked about in 15 minutes last Tuesday, or the Tuesday before that. We're going to go through the key questions to discover your business mission and purpose. Future pacing your business. What are you putting into the future? Negative or addition by subtraction. How to determine what you are not, so then you can determine what you truly are. Discover what you and your business are now, and the neurological levels and the identity. How to determine the true identity of your business. Again, we're going to give you exercises. There will be homework. There will be success work. As a teacher, I love to give that. And you know what? It's going to be very, very beneficial to you. So syntax number 2, what's the heart of your business? The neurological levels apply to beliefs and values. Beliefs and values from a NLP perspective, key neurological levels, questions about beliefs. The belief table, we talked about the belief table just quickly, and now some of you are already using the belief table. This is a great exercise. Values elicitation from an NLP standpoint, how to elicit and rank values in 90 seconds, how to determine the top 5 values for your business, and then the question, is your company built to last? Course number 3, syntax, the current and the future capabilities, the head of your business, identifying the current and future organizational capabilities, the capabilities matrix. We're going to explain that, and then the capability matrix and your comfort zone, going through the neurological levels to identify the organizational capabilities, the key questions, chunking up and chunking down through the neurological levels, and then also chunking up and chunking down through your business capabilities. The syntax for number 4, the hands of your business, the neurological levels applied to behaviors, the customer expectations and memories, stories, and relationships. How are your behaviors managing expectations? How to manage explicit and implicit expectations of your customers, behaviors, and memories. NLP behavior strategies for creating memories, behaviors, and stories. NLP strategies for creating hypnotic stories in a good way, in an ethical way. The 6 layers of the human communication. Syntax number 5 is the neurological levels applied to the environment. Are you working in your environment, or are you working on it? Are you working in or on? Is the environment question that naturally follows the neurological levels? How to find your tipping points. The NLP strategies for working in challenging environments. We know we've all been there. Acting as if versus fake it till you make it. The PESTE framework for identifying different types of risk in the environment. The environment opportunities and threats matrix explained, and the environmental opportunities and threats matrix and how it applies to your business. And then last but not least, course number 6, the integration and application of the neurological levels in your business on the formal and the hidden structure of your business, the questions that determine the hidden structure, how to integrate the neurological levels with key questions, neurological levels and business culture, greater inspiration, and then we have another special announcement. So, you know the saying, but wait, there's more. So in all of these syntax, if just imagine having all of that information on top of everything that we've given you in the last 6 series. We're going to give you the handbook, which is going to be detailed of all the 6 courses. That's going to become your handbook of success, where you have everything spelled out, what we just shared with you, and a lot more of the entire syntax and the outline. And you're also, and this is the second bonus, you will receive the success exercises for you to do and for you to have, because you're going to use the success exercises as your business develops, as your business grows, as your business changes. You're going to be able to go back and use this over and over and over again. This is never ending, guys. This is like an ongoing success Bible for you, if you want to call it that. Business bonus number 3 is there's going to be 3 lucky winners that will receive 2-on-1 coaching with John and Brigitte. Now, these lucky winners are going to be the ones that are continuing to show up and turn in their success work, their success exercises, because we are here not just to preach to you, not just to teach to you, but we're here to set you up for success. And what we say is what we mean, is what we do. When you send us something back, we're both of us, John and I, are going to review it and give you feedback on it. Okay? So this is so powerful. Just imagine of all of the information, all of the knowledge, all of the strategies, all of the fun that you've gotten out of the last 6 courses, future pacing that in the next 6 courses, but then also receiving 1-on or 2-on-1 time, just you and John and I for an hour, going to be absolutely priceless, absolutely priceless. So that's bonus number 3. All you need to do is right now in the chat box, say, I'm in. That's all you need to do. Say, I'm in. And then what I'll also need you, or I encourage you to do, just send us a quick email address to info@nlpatlanta.com. info@nlpatlanta.com. In the subject line, say, I'm in. And then in the body, just put in your full name, first name, last name, and your cell number. And we're going to get in touch with you and send you a quick invoice with the information. Okay, we're going to send you the outline. We're going to send you an invoice. We're going to be in touch with you. If you have further questions, we can hop on a quick call. That's totally fine. I'm going to stick around here in a second until I'm finished here. It is also on Eventbrite. So if you want to share it with others, you're welcome to share it on Eventbrite. On Eventbrite, it's down for $349. That's not what you're going to pay. You're going to have a discount code, and the discount code is NLP30. So you're getting a 30% discount. That's huge. Usually when John and I do courses like that, it is in the thousands, not in the low hundreds like this is here. You're getting so much value, and you're getting a lot of fun too. I mean, let's be honest. If you've never seen this picture, and John and I just, you know, we love getting some mileage out of this picture. We love working together, and even more so, we love setting you up for success. We want to see other people succeed and win and have fun and have the strategies in their life and their business to make your life easier and not harder, because life's already hard just the way it is. So this is from my side. I'm going to stop sharing, and I want to see from you. Let me see. I'm going to, there, now I can also see you guys, because when
One
I
thing
share
I'd
my
like to add,
screen.
your total investment after applying the discount is just $247.
Thank you. 247. 247 it is. Let me look in the chat box here. I'm in. Fantastic, wonderful. Love the idea of the success work, success exercises. Fantastic. So 247 is the final investment. That is for the 6 courses. Of course, you're going to get the recording again, and I ask you to keep those recordings for yourself, because as you are investing in yourself, these recordings are there for you to review, are there for you to go back, listen. Like Julie said earlier, I'm going to just carve out a bunch of hours and just go through it. That is how you're going to get to mastery. John and I have not gotten to the place of mastery by sitting at home and twiddling our thumbs. We have gotten to mastery of by, you know, applying it, studying it, applying it, teaching it, learning it, doing it, applying it, teaching it. And that's what we love to do, and that's why we're here for you guys. Any questions? Because I'm going to shut up now. Alana, I see you laughing over there, because I can talk all day long.
Yeah, so we're glad you've taken action. Brigitte will be in contact with you. And anything else, Brigitte, you're interacting with them, because we know who's in. So let's just take the next steps with them. And the courses will start next Tuesday. So again, we're all about consistency. So next Tuesday, for the people who are in, we're starting next week Tuesday. Same time, 12 Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific. Brigitte.
Yes. I want to point one thing out that Dan sent me, and you know, as I'm sharing my screen, I can't see the chat box, but I'm looking at it right now. And Dan is also a fellow NLP practitioner, and he writes, Drucker also believes that managers lead and leaders manage, and he loves the term shelf help. So we're all about leadership. We're all about making you more, empower you more. We're all about helping you succeed. So thank you guys. If there's no more questions for today, I'm going to be in touch with you. I am looking at the chat. I'm writing down names, and I will be in touch with you. My office will be in touch with you. And then I will see all of you guys next Tuesday. You will receive the login information in the next days. Let me see, there's one more message that came in. So how long is the series? Oh, good question. Yes, thank you, Denise. The series is 1 hour long, each segment. So 6 times 1 hour. And then there's also going to be, as I said, success exercises that you're going to do outside of that 1 hour. And you will have access, you will send that to us, and then you will have access to us. When I mean access, I mean that we're going to give you feedback once you've sent your success exercises to us. So same time at 12 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock Pacific time, is on next Tuesday. What is that? Which date is that? Let me show you.
That is Tuesday the 12th.
Tuesday the 12th. I will send that all in an email to you guys. You will have all of that. Great questions. Any other questions that you have right now? Good. I will be in touch. Thank you guys for another great day. I will see you next Tuesday. Until then, share the love, and I'll see you then. Bye, guys.